What is the significance of atrioventricular node and atrioventricular bundle in the functioning of the heart? So students, in the cardiac cycle, the contraction and relaxation of cardiac muscles is controlled by the sinoatrial node. Now, along with the sinoatrial node, there are other parts like atrioventricular bundle and bundle of His. So, what is its significance in the cardiac cycle? So, let us learn now. Now, coming to the atrioventricular node. So, this node is located in the atrium, that is right atrium, and it is located at the base of the right atrium near the interauricular septum. So, the AV node is present in the right atrium, specifically near the interauricular septum that separates the right auricles and the ventricle. So, if you see in the image, this is the location of the AV node. So, it is located in the interauricular septum. So, the septum which separates the auricles, so that septum is called interauricular septum, and towards the base where the auricles and ventricles get separated. So, because of that region, it is called as atrioventricular node. So, the location, it is located in the right atrium near the interauricular septum present between the two auricles, and it is located towards the right auricle and the ventricle. That means towards the base of the right atrium. So, it is called atrioventricular node. Now, this atrioventricular node further gave rises to bundle of His. So, this fiber which is arising from the sinoatrial node, it is called bundle of His. So, it passes through the ventricles, that is, it passes through the interventricular septum. So, the septum which separates two ventricles. So, this is one ventricle and this is the other. The septum which separates the ventricles are called interventricular septum. So, the bundle of His is passing through the interventricular septum, and again its branches over here divides into two. One branch covers the left ventricle, the other branch covers the right ventricle, and further from these branches many networks arises, and these networks are called Purkinje Fibers. So, here we can see the bundle of His passes the ventricles through interventricular septum. From there it divides and it covers the right ventricles and the left ventricle. So, it is covering the right ventricle and the left ventricle. Once it covers the right ventricle, again it gives rises to branches which enters into the cardiac muscle cells or the myocardium. So, these fibers which enters into the cardiac muscles are called Purkinje Fibers. Now, all these things forms the AV node. So, AV node, bundle of His, Purkinje Fibers. They are also part of the cardiac conducting system. Now, the function of this AV node. So, once the SA node produces the electrical impulses, some of the electrical impulses will be absorbed by the AV node and it will be stored within it. So, the remaining electrical impulses will reach the upper chambers, the right auricle and the left auricle, and these two chambers contract, and until these two chambers complete its contraction, the electrical impulses received by the SA node will be stored in it. Once these two chambers complete its contraction, this electrical impulses will be released by the AV node and it will be carried by the bundle of His and then Purkinje Fibers. So, finally it reaches the ventricle. Once it reaches the ventricles will start contracting. So, this is the importance of the AV node. AV node receives the impulses produced by the SA node, stores within it until the upper chambers complete its contraction, and then the AV node releases the impulses which will be taken to the ventricles through bundle of His and Purkinje Fibers, and later the ventricle starts contracting it. So that all the four chambers will not contract at the same time. So AV node prevents the contraction of all the four chambers at the same time. So this is the significance of atrioventricular node and atrioventricular bundles.